Like the caucus meeting north, please stand and salute the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome,
Mrs. Press. Here. Mrs. Eldridge. Here. Mr. Hammerschmidt.
Here.
Mr. Hill.
Here.
Mr. Tetzel.
Here.
Mr. Coop.
Here.
Mr. Nemo.
Here.
Redcliffe.
Here.
Mrs. Terry. Here.
I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's meeting. This is our voting meeting for the month of March. Everything we're voting on tonight has been discussed at last Wednesday's work session. So if it seems like the voting part goes pretty quick tonight, it does, because we've had a week to ask questions or think any of these decisions over. So like I said, the voting does go further. There will be time for questions relative to agenda items before the agenda is read, and there will be time for comments, questions not on the agenda at the end of the meeting. Item P is recognition of meetings. And we have Pride and Promises tonight. Mrs. Columbus.
So back in, I believe it was February or January, actually, Mrs. Ernst had a big panic attack. It was one of our snow days coming in that we were getting hit with snow, and she dropped her engagement ring and wedding ring outside. She found the engagement ring, if I'm saying this correctly, and came in and was visibly upset. Well, a couple of our students volunteered and went outside and searched, which I don't know how they found it because there was quite a bit of snow, and they actually found her wedding ring. So we wanted to nominate Mason Michael and Eamon Scheffler for the Pride and Promise Award.
You guys want to go first or last? I thank you for asking me to come. I'm glad I was able to make it. These are two good students here. They're a blessing to teach, and I'm proud of them. Even though they give me a run for my money, at least 3 days a week. But they say that the best teachers aren't the ones that are masters of their content, or maybe the ones that are the most organized, but sometimes the ones that have the most emotional intelligence. And I don't take it for granted that my subject area doesn't have a standardized test. So it does allow us time to build better relationships, teachers and students. So we do have a good time, but these guys are, it was funny because I said, I looked for it, I found this one, but I looked everywhere, I couldn't find the wedding band. And they said, well, what can we get if we go look for it? I said, well, so just forget it, I'll look for it later. This is not the first time that I've lost my wedding rings. I'm looking for somebody who's looking to go out there out of the goodness of their heart. And they raised their hand straight in the air. I said, all right, uno, dos, tres. And they went, and mission accomplished. So appreciate their service. And
We volunteered to get out of class.
I'm aware of it. I did get lost on the way back.
I hope there's some extra credit.
Oh, there's extra credit opportunities, yeah.
I don't know what was more shocking, the fact that they found the ring or the fact that Aiden was out there in his slides. It was all, and he's wearing them today too. And it was funny when I called them down to tell them that we nominated them, they both come in my office and they're like, what did you do? Like, I don't know, you tell me, what did you do? And to both of them, they're like, was it Spanish? I said, well, you're close. And then I told them. So.
Boys, anything for Mrs. Ernst or the board?
Thanks.
I just want to say to the families, congratulations on raising such fine young men. And I'm sure Mrs. Ernst is very appreciative of their efforts. So congratulations again. Certificates, and Mrs. Columbus already took the picture, correct?
Yeah.
Now we're going to dive into the treasurer's report and other wonderful things that you're welcome to stay for. Nick, you want to interview the boys at all?
Joe, I can do it outside.
There you go. So that's Nick Priscilla. He might be in the Newcastle News tomorrow, so bring extra change to the news tomorrow. Thank you. You're welcome to leave if you want. You're welcome to stay if you want. Thank you. Congratulations.
Good job, boys.
on your children.
Any additions, any? Item B, any information reports? Item C, comments, questions from the floor relative to agenda items. Item 6, item A is approval of the minutes from the February board. So moved. Motion by Mr. Nema, second by Mr. Kuth. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Treasury report, Mr. Hammerschmidt and Bill Listens.
It is a recommendation of the superintendent of the board to approve the treasury report. I put that in form of a motion.
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Motion by Mr. Hammerschmidt, second by Mr. Ketzel. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
It's a recommendation of the superintendent of the board to approve the attached investment report. I put that in form of a motion.
Motion by Mr. Hammerschmidt, second by Mrs. Prest. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
It's a recommendation of the superintendent of the board to approve general fund bill listings. I put that in form of a motion.
Second. Motion by Mr. Hammerschmidt, second by Mr. Ketzel. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? Aye. Mr. Magina is watching, so if I don't have to say
There's a recommendation of the superintendent of the board to approve the food service bill listing for March 11, 2026. I'll put that in the form of a motion.
motion by Mr. Hammerschmidt, second by Mrs. Eldridge. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Personnel, Mrs. Sinclair.
It's the recommendation of the superintendent to approve letters A, B, C, D, F, and G. H, I, and J.
Oh, okay.
So A through G in the form of a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Sari, second by Mr. Dillon. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
The recommendation of the superintendent, letter H, employment of the superintendent, Mr. Kirkley. I, superintendent employment agreement, and J, interim middle high school principal, Ms. Nicole Colbus. Put that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Mrs. Sari, second by Mr. Kuth. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? We'll do a roll call.
No, because you look at the cover where we did that policy.
Okay.
So, no, it all counts as roll call.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Congratulations.
Only one thing to say. Be careful what you wish for. Just might get it.
An honor.
Okay, item 10, board action items, committee of the whole. We'll take item A, B, C, D, E, and F. So moved. Second. Motion by Mr. Demos, second by Mr. Ketzel. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? Motion carries. And, item G, item H, item I. So, second. Motion by Mr. Huth, second by Mr. Demo. Any discussion on the motions? Any negative votes? Any abstentions? All in favor? Carries. We have comments from the floor tonight, Mr. Walter.
I'd like to address a letter my son received. My son Jeffrey Bear received a formal letter of warning dated February 24th, 2026, and signed by Superintendent Leonard Rich, alleging he engaged in an aggressive and profane verbal exchange with a member of the varsity basketball game at Fort Cherry High School. Some of what I'm going to tell you can be verified by video stream provided by the NFHS network. My family, including Jeff, arrived at the gym and sat in the fourth and fifth row behind the team as we always do. Approximately 5 to 6 minutes before the game started, Coach LaRocco approached Jeff in the stands, initiating the exchange. Jeff immediately told him, "I don't want to talk to you." Coach LaRocco replied, "I did it for her." Again, Jeff told him, "I don't want to talk to you." LaRocco pointed at Jeff and told him, "I made it optional to help her." Jeff then told him, meaning LaRocco, that he had messed up and would find out after the game. LaRocco said something else and walked away. Jeff did use a phrase with a profanity in it. However, this phrase seems to have become socially acceptable and used daily by many people in conversation. It's used to describe, among other things, an object that's not working correctly, or a person who has done something wrong or maybe really stupid. Personally, I've heard it used many times in normal conversation by people from all walks of life. The after the game comment was a poor choice of words. Jeff's daughter Alexis had told him prior that because of the fallout and stress caused by her missing an optional basketball practice to fulfill an obligation made long before this practice was called, that after the Fort Cherry game, she planned to tell the coach, LaRocco, that it would be her last game she played for him. Jeff did not use a loud voice or display any threatening or aggressive manner during the exchange. Had the exchange occurred as alluded to in the letter, I'm sure the spectators and the officials of the nearby scoring table would have had some type of reaction, and there was none. And if anyone would have truly felt threatened, the armed security guard in attendance would have been notified, that would have promptly been escorted off the premises. That did not happen. The security guard was not in the gym before or after the game. Jeff, in fact, moved up the bleachers after the exchange to avoid another confrontation with Coach LaRocco. The letter states investigation has been made to corroborate the exchange. No nearby spectators, Fort Cherry officials, Jeff, or other family members were questioned during this investigation. It seems to be an incomplete, one-sided investigation that had a foregone conclusion. I would ask the board to rescind this letter, put safeguards in place to ensure Alexis suffers no harm with this unfortunate incident. Provide in writing your decision to Jeff and to restore his good standing at the Laurel School District. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mrs. Press, second by Mr. Kessel. Any discussion on the motion? Any negative votes? Abstentions? Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you all.